Hey folks, so we try to survive the heating wave in Berlin. I enjoy my green tea from the wine glass and we're still waiting for the koridashi to brew. And today we will talk about some quite philosophical technical topics. So you know me, I usually talk about the side, the architecture and all these things. And one of the topics that eating my mind for a long time, especially after my burnout, actually, it's why we all the time talking about the high load systems and customer obsession and all of the things, but mainly the high load systems and how to make sure that our servers could survive. But we never speak about how our team actually could survive and how we could take care about our people and how we could take care about the mortal developers, and all this together formed a quite well-known topic is the developer experience. Yeah, it's how your team feel while they build the product, and how other developers actually feel when they interact with the result of your work. So we all work with systems and code bases, and I talk a lot in Ukrainian how we could treat the code base as a data. It's one direction. I already have quite nice talk about the developer experience and the impedance of the architecture with the architecture diagrams, but the main topic, how we could make the not high load. It's clear, it's cheap. You could buy yet another instance or pay a bit more on the Amazon or find the tons of ways. But how to make the lower cognitive load? So what the cognitive load is? It's the amount of brain power that you need to understand what's going on in the system, and the easiness that you work with the code and all other things. So, and yeah, and it's a big topic itself. And you know, if you will try to design the systems, we have the yet another interesting term that you could Google and think about is the moldable systems. That you build your systems driving not from the tools and languages and well-known patterns and buzzwords, but from the problem that system should solve itself. So all the problems in this world, starting from the question what kind of problem we try to build, solve, and how we going to build the system that solve this particular problem. And we came from the challenge of the collecting the requirements, understanding the requirements, and eliminate the gap between the business requirements and the technical one. So how to make our code looks like the specification of the business requirements. And here, as usually, we came to the point that it's nice to have something declarative, it's nice to have something immutable, and it's nice to have the domain-specific languages that actually reflect the business problem in a natural way. That you could share the big dream, that you could share your code with your product, and your product will understand the code. And I believe that in some day it could happen. So. And it's yet another huge area of research for computer scientists. It's how to build such kind of languages. And actually, you know, we have one language that actually was quite close, and maybe I will mention it. It's the Smalltalk, and the main obstacle that we never think about the cognitive load at the first time when we start building the system is the language that we use for building this system. The more concept the language itself brings, the more you need to write the code in this language, and the more primitives this language have, the more cognitive load you get. And in this case, Smalltalk or Self, for example, Self, I guess it's the fine-tuned version of Smalltalk, even with the smaller amount of the primitives, plays the best. So you could put the syntax of the language itself on the postcard. You have only concept of the object and prototype, and prototype is yet another object, and you should just learn the order in which messages get sent and how they take the precedence of each other, and you are done, you are ready to go and build the amazing systems of the software internet and all the ideas that Alan Kay brings to us that still unfortunately not implemented. So one of the experiments that currently run on self-moldable systems as Glamour, it's actually something like IPython notebooks with Smalltalk that allows you to interact with system directly. So when you build in the systems that in AIM wants to lower the cognitive load, you need to make it understandable for the developers at the first time and make sure that they could easily learn it, quickly grasp main ideas, have limited amount of patterns, and these patterns are repeatable. So I will talk more and more about this topic because this topic really eating my brain, and I'm quite keen to hear more from you, what you think about what the most important part of the developer experience, how we could lower our cognitive load, what the perfect languages and systems for the enterprise and maybe decentralized builders too. I'm keen to hear from you more, and follow my blog and enjoy the tea together with me. See you, choose.